What's up, everybody? Welcome to Horror Headlines for the week of August 27th. It is Tuesday night. I am John Maher. That is Hunter the Hitman Chambliss, and we'll be talking about all the horror headlines that dropped this week. Feel free to get in the chat on TikTok. Feel free to get in the chat on YouTube, in the chat on Facebook. We're happy to answer any questions and hear your opinions on the topics we got this week. Hunter, how you doing?
I am doing fantastic. Your audio is a little fuzzy.
A little fuzzy. Let's play around with the mic. Is that better?
That's kind of better, but it's low.
Low. All right. Well, we'll work with it. We'll work with it. I'll keep screaming into the microphone.
There we go. All right. So, yes, I'm doing fantastic. We are here to talk about our horror headlines. We have 6 big news topics, including 2 brand new images. I can't wait to talk about it. John, are you ready to get into the first topic?
Yeah, what's the first topic we're talking about today?
All right, so this comes from bloodydisgusting.com as always, and it says Tim Curry returns to the big screen in Stream beginning tonight. From the team behind the Terrifier movie's iconic events, releasing brings you Stream to theaters nationwide tonight, August 21st, 2024, with limited screenings through August 25th. Obviously, that's already passed. This was a few days ago. The film's cast is stacked with familiar faces and horror icons, and Variety spilled the beans this week that Tim Curry is making a top-secret appearance in the gory horror movie. Variety reports this afternoon the veteran actor will return to the big screen as a character in the horror film Stream, which is opening Wednesday in select theaters. This will be his first feature film role since the 2010 comedy Burke and Hare, even though he has worked on many animated projects as a voice actor since then. Variety notes in the report he also appeared in the 2016 television remake of the Rocky Horror Picture Show on Fox. So, John, thoughts on Tim Curry being back on screen for the first time in horror in a very long time with Stream?
I don't think anybody has a negative opinion on Tim Curry doing anything. And if you do, get at me, please. I live in Pennsylvania. Come fight me. Why would anybody have a bad opinion? I think I'd heard he actually was in that movie. Stream, however, is getting like weird releases. It's getting like those. I'm an AMC A-list member, and they do have it actually playing at the theater. But I can't use my A-list subscription to see that. It's excluded from A-list, which happens with some
weird.
Some limited release horror movies. I know when Winnie the Pooh came out. Winnie the Pooh 2 and Slaughterhouse, and now this. Usually if it's like a kind of buzzy indie movie with a very limited 1 to 3 day release, it will be excluded from A-list. So I unfortunately am probably going to wait for this to pop up on streaming, but given just the way it's being released, it'll probably be on streaming by next week. So I'm looking forward to seeing it within the next week.
Oh, yeah, dude, I've been so excited for this movie since I, 1, heard the premise, but 2, heard the stacked cast that this has. Like, you talk about pretty much any, iconic horror actor you can think of, they're probably in this film. And when you add someone like a Tim Curry, who's just a fantastic actor, I love him in Rocky Horror Picture Show. The first time I ever saw him was in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, which was, one of his funniest roles in my opinion. But also, if you're a TV fan, you saw him in Psych and a lot of other TV shows. This film, I don't know if it's going to be a great film, but it's going to be a great film experience, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be totally passable. I mean, given that Tony Todd's in it, Jeffrey Combs is in it, Daniel Harris is in it, I believe. A couple other really horror.
Barbara Crampton, I believe, is in this one.
In it.
Bill Moseley.
I haven't. I imagine it's not going to be like the greatest movie of the year, but I think it'll just be fun and campy, and I think that's all we can ask for. I think maybe just a limited release. Obviously, it's not going to tear up the box office, and by the fact that it's excluded from a lot of movie rewards programs, also not going to help it, because I definitely know people like me would go see it, but unfortunately, I won't be able to go see it unless I pay money, and I hate capitalism, so why would I pay money to?
Yeah, I'm very excited for this. Like, they keep adding names that get me more excited. It was Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton, then Bill Moseley, now Tim Curry. It's just so many horror icons that are just showing up in this one picture. It feels like an Avengers level movie, but for horror icons, and that gets me so excited, man. Horror has been doing so good this year.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good year for big movies. It's been a pretty good year for small movies. It's been a pretty good year for VOD movies. This movie kind of straddles all of those spectrums in a very minor way. But like this was actually of my most anticipated movies. This was my number 10. So
this is my number 5.
So I do want to see it. So we'll stream. If anybody in the chat has seen Stream, let us know what you thought about it. But yeah, I'm probably not going to see it until it hits VOD. But I imagine that'll be within the next 48 hours.
That makes a lot of sense. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, as I said, Tim Curry is a winner. He's always been a winner. Any movie he's in is great. So if he really is in this movie, then I expected him to shine and be the man we know he is. So,
especially considering this is his first live action role since 2010. Like that's exciting, like in of itself. All right, let's move on to our second topic again from Bloody Disgusting. Jack Black and Paul Rudd in talks to star in the Anaconda reboot. In the wake of the 3 sequels and a spin-off crossover film with the Lake Placid franchise, the 1997 film Anaconda is plotting a return to the screen. Tom Gormick from The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is scripting and directing the next Anaconda movie for Columbia Pictures, which is attracting some big-name talent. The Hollywood Reports tonight that Jack Black and Paul Rudd are in early talks to star. According to the sources, the new story involves a group of friends facing midlife crisis who are remaking their favorite movie from their youth. They head into the rainforest only to find themselves into a fight for their lives against natural disasters, giant snakes, and violent criminals. So, thoughts on Jack Black and...
Is the movie from their youth Anaconda? Like, okay, let's put all our cards on the table. Okay, Paul Rudd, megastar. Jack Black, megastar. The guy that wrote and directed The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, a very skilled writer. You're remaking Anaconda? It's got to be like tongue-in-cheek. We realize this movie is campy garbage on the border of it, and we're just gonna make it better. I can't see this movie flopping, but I also can't see it being like awesome. I gotta see it. It's gonna wind up being like a horror comedy, right? It's got.
Oh, 100%. It has to be with Jack Black involved. Yeah.
Yeah, but they played but the original Anaconda was played pretty straight. You know what I mean? It was played like a pretty straight horror movie. So I guess these are the kinds of remakes we need. Like, take a movie that should have been a horror comedy and make it a horror comedy on a remake. Yeah.
Yeah.
And with all these people attached to it, is it going to be called Anaconda?
I'm pretty sure it's just going to be called Anaconda.
I'll be there for this movie, I guess.
Because right now it's just saying Anaconda reboot. So they could have like Anaconda with a subtitle up under it, or it could be like a requel, or it could just be called Anaconda. I don't know what the full title is yet. I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, the plot seems different enough that it's not going to be a remake.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Hunter. What's your opinion?
I've never seen the original Anaconda, but it has been on my list because I love kind of, over the top horror films. So it's definitely one I want to check out. But The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, I really had fun with. And if this guy who directed it can take that style, this kind of action horror comedy with some sort of meta element to it, and bring it over to a franchise that maybe had one good movie, and that's the original. If he can make it better, and you got these big names like Paul Rudd and Jack Black looking to be in this movie, it can only be mean great things. Like, is this gonna be a great movie? I doubt it. It's gonna be a fun movie. I hope so.
I mean, it could be like Snakes on a Plane level type, camp. I mean, Paul Rudd and Jack Black in a movie that even has horror elements in it. I mean, it feels like a winner on some level, right? Yeah, it's got to be a winner.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like you would hope so, unless this guy is a one hit wonder and then he completely flops this.
I mean,
Which
he
is
navigated
possible, but I hope not.
He navigated pretty weird waters with Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That's a pretty difficult movie to pull. Did it? I would think a campy movie about a giant snake killing people would be easier, provided you got a good effects budget, which I'm sure he'll get. So let's see. I'm waiting for when it comes out. You said next year, or is it later than
that? They didn't say a release date. I'm guessing either next year or the year after, 2027.
All right. Let's go with that.
2026, sorry. Not 2027.
Well, Anaconda coming back to us sometime in the near future. What else we got as far as headlines go?
All right, let's move on to our next one. This one does have a photo. Terrifier 3 new image released today, I'm sorry. And we can expect a brand new trailer tomorrow from the looks of the photo. So let's go ahead and pull the photo up. There is the photo right there. Art looking festive as always. Christmas comes early in Damien Leone's slasher sequel, Terrifier 3 from Bloody Disgusting and Cineverse, which brings Art the Clown exclusively back to theaters on October 11th. Chatting with Empire, returning Art the Clown actor David Howard Thornton teases one scene in Terrifier 3 that promises to be very controversial. He tells the outlet people are going to be surprised by the depravity that we get up to in that scene. In Terrifier 3, directed once again by Damien Leone, Art the Clown is set to unleash another round of chaos on the unsuspecting residents of Miles County as they peacefully drift off to sleep on Christmas Eve. So, John, thoughts on the controversial scene that David Howard Thornton is talking about and this photo that we have today?
I mean, that photo looks, we've already seen the teaser trailer where he is Santa. So nothing new in that photo. Those gloves are very, very bloody, though. Those gloves are soaked in blood.
They are, yes.
Art's been a busy boy, apparently.
Dude, the axe looks so cool.
Yeah, the axe also looks very caked on with blood. Art, everyone loves art. There's everywhere you go. Like even like my daughter loves art. It's like she can recognize art. She hasn't seen it in the movies, but she knows who Art the Clown is. So we're talking full saturation of Art the Clown in popular culture. As far as teasing something horrific happening, something controversial, that's kind of the calling card of the Terrifier franchise at this point. I don't think it's going to necessarily shock me. I would be saddened if there wasn't anything that makes people sick in this movie. What happened? I was promised so much. So, I don't want to come off like a hard ass, but what are we supposed to expect at this point from Terrifier, right? It's going to be a good time. There's going to be something over the top. Obviously, people talked about In a Violent Nature with the yoga kill in A Violent Nature. So the bar has been set. I feel Damien Leone is going to take that personal and shatter it. It's going to be something crazy.
That's his personal mission.
Yeah, I think whenever somebody does something in a horror movie and people give that kill or that gore attention, I feel Damien Leone takes it personal. So good. I hope he channels that into this film.
So my question is, what can be more controversial and more sickening than what happened in Terrifier 2 with that bedroom scene?
It was kind of over the top for the sake of being over the top. Even in the scene, you feel like they're he goes off screen and comes back with salt.
Yeah.
That was like a fourth wall wink to the audience. But if they're gonna do something like taboo, I've heard so many rumors about he's gonna torture a kid. Okay, cool. If you get that past the MPAA, great. However you do it. That's fine. Wouldn't be the first.
To be fair, this movie is unrated and it's going to be released unrated in the theaters. He could torture a child.
Well, then the bar. It all depends on a couple things. The only thing I think that would limit him is how many more of these movies is he planning to do? Even not necessarily Terrifier movies. but movies that where he has his name attached to it, where he'll be expected to deliver, like he has to scale it. Like he can't go up to 10 necessarily if he's planning on doing more movies. He just has to top everything that happened already and give himself more room to grow. So, however, as we've seen, if you go down the horror movie iceberg, it gets crazy real fast. So, but Damien Leone has capable hands. So I look forward to how he will navigate these waters.
So my question is, are we setting, and is Damien setting a bad precedent for himself where in every single film he has to outdo the movie he's did before? Sometimes that can be good, but then you get a Shyamalan thing where now every movie everyone is expecting a twist and he's got to keep outdoing the last twist.
I think he's already locked himself in this path. I think he could probably keep it up for a few films, and then either he will stop making films or he will do something where the consensus will be, you did not top yourself, you have failed. But the ride to get there is going to be awesome. Whatever that eighth movie he does is going to probably upset people, and the other upset people in a "you let us down, Damien" kind of way. But or he just keeps topping himself and goes out on top. We'll see, one way or the other.
Yeah. I just thought about this, and this is not going off or too big of a tangent, but I really want to see Damien taking on the Evil Dead franchise. I think what he can do with practical gore and the Evil Dead franchise could work hand in hand with each other.
I don't see that happening. It seems like a dream partnership. I think he's too big to take on that franchise. It seems like they're handing it off to like not less successful, but lesser known indie directors. Like you had Lee Cronin who did The Hole in the Ground. He got Evil Dead Rise. Then you get Sebastian Vanacek who did Vermines or Infested. He's going to get whatever the next Evil Dead movie is. So they've already set themselves on a path where they're kind of just taking blue chip directors. And I think Damien Leone has proven he's not a blue chip director. He is Damien Leone. So I could see him doing a movie that is like similar to The Evil Dead, but they will never give him the Evil Dead franchise. They will never do it. Sorry.
That's sad, man, because that man, like with his practical gore, and you hire like professional like stunt people to be the lead, like he did with Lauren Rivera, that could be perfect. All right, are we ready to move on?
Just one final thing on the Evil Dead thing. Just with the direction they went after Evil Dead Rise, and I imagine they could continue in that direction with whatever Sebastian Vanacek is. I don't think Damien Leone fits in that trajectory either as a style. But I digress. What's the fourth headline?
All right, we have another photo. Nosferatu, a bloody new look at Lily Rose Depp in Robert Eggers' remakes. Go ahead and bring up that
I've seen this trailer already, but yeah, Pumpkin Patch, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the like, sir.
Hey, thank you so much. Yes, as you can see the photo right there, it's hard to believe that we are just 4 months away from Christmas, which means we are just 4 months away from Robert Eggers' Nosferatu releasing on December 25th, 2024. You can see the photo right here. Robert Eggers' Nosferatu is a gothic tale of obsession between a haunted young woman in the 19th century Germany and the ancient Transylvanian vampire who stalks her, bringing untold horror with him. The movie stars Willem Dafoe, Nicholas Hoult, Emma Corrin, and Lily Rose Depp, alongside Aaron Taylor Johnson, Simon McBurney, and Ralph Emson. So, thoughts on this photo that we have, and are you excited for Nosferatu?
Well, if you've been going to the movies the past few weeks, they've actually started dropping the Nosferatu trailer in full. I saw it before. It played before playing twice. It played before The Crow. So I know that. I've seen the trailer now twice. That picture is great, but we're getting like full send Willem Dafoe. We're getting like full send Nicholas Hoult. And this is just in the trailer. It looks awesome. I trust in Robert Eggers. I can't imagine the trailer is just like a 90-second like best hits of the movie. I imagine he's having seen The Northman, having seen The Lighthouse. like that cinematography and that presentation, that set direction is going to carry through the entire movie. And just the clips of the performances I see in the trailer, if that energy is the whole film, this is going to be great.
Yeah, and this, going behind the scenes a little bit, as you guys know, we do our Primetime Horror Awards. This is the movie that we're waiting to come out because we have a very big chance that a lot of these performances in this movie will end up being in our nominations for best actor. So we're waiting for this movie to come out.
How do they not? Like, how do they not? Right? Like, you think about, first of all, let's look at the partnerships, right? Obviously, you know, Willem was in the White House. He's been directed by Eggers before. Now he's being given a role where, like, we know what's up with this world. We know the characters in this universe. I don't think Eggers is going to limit Willem Dafoe to, like, I believe he just given it the way that he is Van Helsing, I imagine, in the movie. So looks awesome. He's an older guy hunting the vampire, so he's got to be Van Helsing. I don't know exactly which character is in the movie. I think it's more like a 1-to-1 with like Bram Stoker's Dracula, because there's clearly a Renfield character you see in the trailer. There's clearly like the John character, like the Keanu Reeves character from Bram Stoker Dracula. I think that is Nicholas Hoult. So and they're all just killing it in this trailer. If you can find the trailer online, I'd recommend you watch it, just so you get put some video to what I'm talking about. Unless you're Aaron Brooks, you don't watch trailers.
I mean, that's fair. Trailers do show a lot sometimes.
But it's Nosferatu. Yeah, I mean, we know what's going to happen. Like, they're not going to divert from the story too crazily. We know what's up.
Yeah, but this is the one movie that I'm looking forward to. Like this and Terrifier 3, like this latter half of the year is going to be so full of like great horror movies. I can feel it.
Yeah, we're pretty much we're entering this the month before Halloween. So we're in this stage where we're going to get at least one new horror movie a week. It's happening. We're going downhill now. So even the bad movies are coming out. Like we got like Blumhouse's movie that has to be bad, Afraid, and then Blumhouse's is this movie really going to be good? Speak No Evil. Like there's craziness happening as the year goes through. We're getting the Smile sequel. We're getting, like you said, Nosferatu. We're getting Terrifier 3.
Has Shelby Oaks got a release date yet?
Not yet, bro. The Front Room is coming out. What's the movie with Hugh Grant? I forgot the name of it.
The A24 one?
Yeah, there's 2 more A24 movies coming out this year. Like, there's more Neon movies coming out this year. Like we are.
The Halle Berry movie's coming out this year too, I think, right?
That's right. Yeah, what's that movie called? Never Let Go. Yeah,
Never Let Go. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen all these trailers. Like it's official. All these movies are coming out. Like we're gonna get a horror movie a week probably through the end of the year. So it's a good time to be a horror fan. If you're in the chat, drop your opinions. What horror movies are you looking forward to for the rest of the year? On any platform, we'll talk about it. What are your opinions on any of the things we've talked about? We talked about Nosferatu. We talked about Terrifier 3. We talked about the Anaconda remake, and we talked about the return of Tim Curry coming to us in stream. Any opinions are welcome. Any questions are welcome. Again, I'm John Maher. That's Hunter Chambliss. This is Hunter. This is our headlines. We've gone through our 4 headlines for the week. We're entering the open discussion portion of the program.
Oh, no. I have 2 more.
Oh, there's 2 more headlines. Never mind. I'm sorry. Hold your comments. Go ahead, Hunter. What's next?
So, yes, we have 6 topics today because it's been a bit busy week in horror. Jessica Rothe of Happy Death Day fame is starring in a new sci-fi horror film called Affection. A fan favorite here in the horror world, Happy Death Day lead Jessica Rothe will continue to hang around the genre with the upcoming of Affection, a science fiction horror film. Deadline reports that Jessica Rothe will star alongside Joseph Cross and Julianne Lane in Affection, which marks the debut of director B.T. Menza. The film follows Ellie, who is stuck in a clinical nightmare, gripping with a condition that erratically resets her memory. She's left unable to remember her husband or her daughter. Each reset leaves her disoriented and haunted with vivid memories of a life she never lived. So thoughts on Affection and the Jessica Rothe returning to the horror genre.
I like Jessica Rothe. Let's not forget she was also in Boy Kills World. That was good. That was good. I saw that earlier this year. She's great. No complaints about her. It seems like we are getting a lot of like science fiction horror this year as well. Because I forgot to mention The Substance is also coming out later this year. So between that and this movie, I always welcome a good science fiction horror movie. Obviously, we're hot on the tail of Alien Romulus as well. So give me my sci-fi, give me my horror. Sure, I'm going to see this movie. I see everything. I'm going to see it.
You definitely see everything. I didn't know what this movie was about, but the idea that it's like a 51st date with horror is kind of awesome. Where it's like every time she wakes up, she can't remember what happened the day before. But this time it's like taking her into like a vivid like nightmare reality where she can't remember, but it's like this endless nightmare loop. Just sounds freaking awesome. With new directors, it's hard to tell if it's going to be good or bad because you have really good debuts, you have really bad debuts. So I don't know what to expect. But with Jessica Rothe and the premise, I'm super excited.
Yeah, usually with like newer directors, sometimes they have like shorts. Sometimes they've applied their craft on YouTube, whatever. So I'll have to do my research on this guy and see if he has any material on the internet anywhere. So I'll be more knowledgeable of him before the movie comes out. But yeah, I have no opinion yet on this director. But Jessica Rothe, is a good get. What's the final headline for the day?
This one is going to interest you. The first Exorcist, Wolf Creek director Craig McLean sets up his next horror movie. Filming will take place next year in Australia on The First Exorcist, Deadline reports today, a supernatural horror movie directed by Craig McLean, Wolf Creek 2. The upcoming exorcism-themed horror film from Emu Creek Pictures and Helium is said to be a spellbinding fusion of religious and supernatural events set in biblical times. In The First Exorcist, a mother goes on a harrowing quest to save her daughter from demonic possessions. As their life descends into nightmare, the mother learns of a mysterious healer with the power to expel demons and embarks on a dangerous race against time, encountering hostile Roman authorities on her privileged mission to find the healer. So, thoughts on The First Exorcist directed by Wolf Creek director?
I like Greg McLean. He did the Belko Experiment as well. If I forget that. So yeah, he definitely has the ability to give us a harrowing experience. I'm kind of exorcisted out. I think I've had enough exorcism movies.
That's fair.
No matter what time period it's set in. So now we're gonna get like a biblical exorcist movie. I'm gonna have to watch it, I guess. Like I don't want to watch another exorcism movie. My mind is open for a good exorcism movie, and if you want a good exorcism movie, we did just cover Exuma last week on Why We Love Horror. So they still are capable of making good possession movies. There's just so goddamn many of them now. Tread carefully, Mr. McLean. You're in rough waters.
Yeah, so I get what you mean about being, tired of the exorcism movies. If done well, they can be very intense and very satisfying and very scary. But it's how you do it. I'm more interested in the time period that this is taking place. It is a very unique spin to be like, no, this is set in biblical times. You've got this healer. You've got this kind of supernatural like possession going on. Like, again, I like religious-based horror movies. Like, I love The First Omen. I loved Immaculate this year. If it takes that element and mixes it in with a good possession movie, this could be really good. I'm very excited for it.
I think there's a fine line between religious horror, which we're getting, like there's like movies where it's like you're facing the devil, like Immaculate, The First Omen, the Omen franchise, and there's movies where you're facing demons via possession. So like we're getting a ton of both of these movies. It's really just the exorcism piece. That because you figure like the Conjuring universe, a lot of possession going on there, and then the Exorcism, the Exorcist Believer, the Pope's Exorcist. Every time you sneeze, there's a new exorcism movie coming out. So
Wasn't there another Russell Crowe exorcism movie as well, just called The Exorcism? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there was the Pope's Exorcist, and then he did The Exorcism. So the one movie he is a priest, and the other movie he's playing a priest. Yeah, there's been a lot. There's so many exorcism movies. We have Russell Crowe starring in multiple movies. That's how many exorcism movies we have.
And a sequel to the Pope's Exorcist is coming out.
That I'll take. The Pope's Exorcist is a riot. That's a great movie. Like that, the tone of the Pope's Exorcist. Plus, you figure Gabriel Amorth's diaries are full of hundreds of stories. That's a never-ending, source of
franchise.
Material. Yeah, you could if they franchise that and stop making other exorcism movies, I'm for it. But whatever.
Russell Crowe riding a Vespa.
We're locked in for two more Exorcist movies too. So it's not going to stop for some time.
But I like taking this exorcism story and then giving it a new time period. I think that could be very interesting, but it could be the same run-of-the-mill shit we've seen before. Time will tell. I'm going to see it. I know you're going to see it because you see everything.
I have no choice.
You have no choice. You're literally locked in a dungeon until you watch it. So
I have to. If a horror movie comes to theaters, I am obligated to see it. It is the deal that I have made with myself.
All right, that's all 6 stories for tonight. We're gonna stay in for a little while longer, see if you guys have any questions.
If you got any comments on the Facebook, any comments on anything, drop those in. Any comments on the YouTube, drop them in there. Anyone wants to chat on TikTok, we are here. We'll answer questions. We'll talk about your most anticipated movies of the year, movies you hated this year, whatever you want to talk about. Drop that in the chat, and we will give our opinions on your opinion. Otherwise, we'll be dropping out of here in a few minutes. We'll be back next week. This is Horror Headlines. I'm John Maher, Hunter Chambliss. Throw your horror topics out. All you want to do. Feel free. And by the way, I have the wrong. That doesn't matter. It's fine. I have the wrong date on this live, but that's cool. I'll fix that next week. Next week, it'll say September, whatever.
All right. So should we go ahead and play the outro and then just go on to the TikTok questions? Because I'm not seeing any comments on.
Play the outro, and I think we're gonna cut everything off for this week. We'll be back next week, same 9:30 every Tuesday here on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, on X. You'll find us. You'll find us on the TikTok. Hunter, where can they find you?
Welcome to Primetime, your destination for all things horror. We have the podcast, we have the brackets, we have everything, and of course, Horror Headlines is live every Tuesday on my channel as well as on John's TikTok. So check that out as well.
And One Fallen Angel, thank you for the follow. Until next time, Hunter. Play that outro. We'll see you next week.
Stay still.
We're still live on YouTube, but we are not live on TikTok anymore. I have a lot of people flying through that chat. A lot of people watch it for at least a little while. So that's awesome. Over 100 views. That's pretty good.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. All right, so
we're still live on YouTube.
Still live on YouTube. So yeah, TikTok did well. YouTube world, 99 views, over 3,000 likes, 2 new followers. That's good. So we're gonna keep it up. We got to keep up appearances. Next week we'll be back. I don't think there's any comments on the Facebook or the YouTube you're seeing.
Not that I can see, but it does look like 2 people are watching from, I can't tell where, from the Welcome to Primetime YouTube channel. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please put them in. We will talk with you guys a little bit longer. If not, then we will head out and see you guys next week. Just because I'm not seeing any comments right now, I am seeing 2 people watching live on the channel.
Well, we will just, I think what we'll do next week is we'll get the topics out early on the Why We Love Horror page. That way you can come prepared with your questions. But for now, we'll probably just see you next week. I am Calamity John Maher, and that is Under the Headband Channel. We will see you next week.